Coming up on 5 Minute News. January 6 rioter who attacked officer sentenced to over 12 years. US House censures Adam Schiff over Trump-Russia truths. And US FTC says Amazon duped millions in enrolling in Prime. It's Thursday, June 22. I'm Anthony Davis. A California man who drove a stun gun into a police officer's neck during one of the most violent clashes of the U.S. Capitol riot was sentenced yesterday to more than 12 years in prison. Daniel D.J. Rodriguez yelled "Trump won" as he was led out of the courtroom where U.S. District Judge Amy Berman Jackson sentenced him to 12 years and 7 months behind bars for his role in the January 6, 2021 attack. Only 2 other January 6 defendants have received longer prison terms so far amid hundreds of sentencings for Capitol riot cases. The judge said 40-year-old Rodriguez was a one-man army of hate, attacking police and destroying property at the Capitol. "You showed up in D.C. spoiling for a fight," Jackson said. "You can't blame what you did once you got there on anyone but yourself." Metropolitan Police Officer Michael Fanone's body camera captured him screaming out in pain after Rodriguez shocked him with a stun gun while he was surrounded by a mob. Another rioter had dragged Fanone into the crowd outside a tunnel on the Capitol's Lower West Terrace, where a line of police officers was guarding an entrance to the building. Other rioters began beating Fanone, who lost consciousness and suffered a heart attack after Rodriguez pressed the stun gun against his neck and repeatedly shocked him. Fanone himself addressed the judge before she imposed the sentence. The former officer described how the January 6 attack prematurely ended his law enforcement career and turned him into a target for Donald Trump supporters who cling to the lie that Democrats stole the 2020 election from the Republican incumbent. The U.S. House voted yesterday to censure California Representative Adam Schiff for comments he made several years ago about investigations into Donald Trump's ties to Russia, rebuking the Democrat and frequent critic of the former president along party lines. Schiff becomes the 25th House lawmaker to be censured. He was defiant ahead of the vote, saying he will wear the formal disapproval as a badge of honor, and charging his GOP colleagues of doing the former president's bidding. When it was time for Schiff to come to the front of the chamber to be formally censured immediately after the vote, the normally solemn ceremony turned into more of a celebratory atmosphere. Dozens of Democrats crowded to the front, clapping and cheering for Schiff and patting him on the back. They chanted "No," "Shame," and "Adam." House Speaker Kevin McCarthy read the resolution out loud, as is a tradition after a censure, but he only read part of the document before leaving the chamber as Democrats heckled and interrupted him. "Censure all of us," one Democrat yelled. Adam Schiff, the former Democratic chairman of the House Intelligence Committee and the lead prosecutor in Trump's first impeachment trial, has long been a Republican political target. Soon after taking back the majority this year, Republicans blocked him from sitting on the intelligence panel. The resolution said Schiff held positions of power during Trump's presidency and abused this trust by saying there was evidence of collusion between Trump's campaign and Russia. Schiff was one of the most outspoken critics of the former president, as both the Justice Department and the Republican-led House launched investigations into Trump's ties to Russia in 2017. Both investigations concluded that Russia did intervene in the 2016 presidential election to assist Donald Trump in getting elected. The censure itself carries no practical effect, except to provide an historic footnote that marks a lawmaker's career. But the GOP resolution would also launch an ethics investigation into Schiff's conduct. The U.S. Federal Trade Commission on Wednesday accused Amazon of enrolling millions of consumers into its paid subscription Amazon Prime service without their consent and making it hard for them to cancel, the agency's latest action against the e-commerce giant in recent weeks. The FTC sued Amazon in federal court in Seattle, alleging that the company has knowingly duped millions of consumers into unknowingly enrolling in Amazon Prime. In a statement, Amazon called the FTC's claims false on the facts and the law. Amazon has used manipulative, coercive, or deceptive user interface designs, known as dark patterns, to trick consumers into enrolling in automatically renewing Prime subscriptions, the FTC said, as it seeks civil penalties and a permanent injunction to prevent future violations. The lawsuit is one of several actions taken by President Joe Biden's administration intended to rein in the outsized market power of big tech firms as it tries to increase competition to protect consumers. The FTC said Amazon Prime is the world's largest subscription program, generating $25 billion annually in revenue. Prime members in the United States pay $139 per year and drive much of Amazon's sales volume. Prime, which has more than 200 million members worldwide, is crucial to Amazon's other businesses, including its streaming service and grocery delivery service. 5 Minute News is an Evergreen podcast covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering independent, unbiased and essential world news daily.